What's up, everybody? I want to tell you about Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor by Spotify, it's one of the easiest ways to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place. Let me explain. Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. When hosting Anchor on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And best of all, Anchor is totally free. So download Anchor, the app, or go to anchor.fm to get started. And I'm a veteran, so let's hear some more military cadences. Welcome to F is for Family. I know I've changed this 1,000 times. Anyway, I want to talk about interracial relationships. I can't believe we're still talking about that in 2022. I myself am in an interracial relationship. My husband is Hispanic. I have dated outside of my race, but my sons happen to be black. My husbands were black. I am, contrary to proper belief, very pro-black, but I do not judge people by their skin, because guess what? We are the color of our skin by like a scientific thing like that happened. It's not like we went into a store and picked our skin color. And the fact that people still get caught up on that, especially so-called people that believe in God, it's like, God made us all, right? It's just crazy to me. It's crazy, and like, you love who you love. I don't know why we need to be worrying about who is with who, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's exhausting. Like, it's like, do the animals have this problem? When you see the animals mating, do they like only go with somebody that's a certain color of lion? Or I don't know. I just wonder, because sometimes as humans it's just exhausting, the things that we fight about amongst ourselves. But I want to play some stories about what other issues people have been having with it. First, I want to play some jokes because they're funny. So, in a song. Oh, let's go.
Brown girl. I like a little vanilla in my life, and I might one day be a white dude's wife. That's alright. Yeah, I got a type. Some people don't like it, but the swirl is the hype. When I see a cute guy, I always gotta think, is he down with the brown? If he is, we about to link. And I ain't talking about the TikTok boys looking for clout, cause we can see right through the facade. Gross me out. I wonder, will he ever like me back? Imagine liking white boys when you're black, especially when you're from the south. The guys that like me are yeehaws with tobacco in their mouth. My celebrity crush, my little cinnamon bun. Ooh, that boy's the one, and I'm still not done. I never met him, he never met me. If he ain't down with the brown, what he about to be? But I digress, y'all never mind the rest. I just like what I like, speaking from the chest. But hit me up if you're looking for a black girl, cause you know that this girl is down with the swirl.
There you go. I love free love. Here's some jokes. Let's go.
But I don't know, I'm trying to open my eyes up a little bit more. Like, I was out here for the whole Black Lives Matter movement and shit like that. I was out in the protest myself. I was new to town. I thought it'd be a good way to meet people. Rub some elbows, kiss some babies, you know what I mean? But what I do, I walked out of there with a black girlfriend. Yeah. A lot of you motherfuckers went home and put a black square on your Instagram. I go home, I go down on a black box, okay? Fucking talking the talk, walking the walk, alright? Man in the Mirror, it's a Michael Jackson song. That my girlfriend told me about. You guys should fucking look that one up. Time to make a change.
That was funny. Let's go to our next joke.
If you guys are in interracial relationships, but when she gets mad at me, she hides my sunscreen. It's not right!
see the humor. Like, dating, like, in an interracial relationship is so fun. Like, especially if you have a partner with a sense of humor. I love teasing my husband. Like, that's the best part of it. I love it so much. So, let's hear about a man that adopted a black baby and the things he faces with that.
His father adopts a black son. Let's watch.
Being a white father of our adopted black son, people often comment and tell us that we won't be able to raise him to be a strong black man someday. First off, if it bothers you that much, then you go adopt. Go adopt a child. Go change a child's life. There's so many kids of all ages and races who need adopted. And if that's something that you're not willing or able to do, reach out to people like me. Message us and show us love. Just say, hey, if you guys need anything ever, let us know. If you have any questions about anything whatsoever about raising a young black man, let us know. We'll be there for you. It takes a village, you guys. Reaching out to me and messaging me and let me know that you're there for me will change his life a lot more than just telling me that he can't do something. Honestly, we're trying our best. We're giving him everything that we have because being a father to him is seriously the best gift. The best.
You know, this takes some real bravery to put this out here because, you know, there's so much negative things that people say. So much easier for people to say negative things online as well. And it's crazy because now this son, he has a father, you know, he has a family that he can come home to. Why do people say things like this? I have no clue. It's nothing wrong with having a blended family. And I think it's more powerful that, you know, he's coming out here and sharing this, letting people know that, you know, these ignorant statements, they're not cool, man. They're not cool. They've never been cool, and they still are not cool today. Let's keep watching.
So, when we went into the adoption process, we had no preference on race of the baby or the parents. With that being said, there was a lot of conversations that happened personally with us and our black friends and our friends of color about the fact that we are both white, my husband and I, and if we truly and honestly, heart to heart with our friends, if they thought that we were capable of adopting outside of a race, of doing justice to the child's culture, to the child's heritage, because we know that there is so many differences. Are we going to put the time in? Are we going to put the love in? Are we going to put the energy in? Are we going to be willing to move if we need to be around more people like our baby, so she doesn't, or he doesn't, because we didn't know at the time, feel isolated. So we didn't know, we didn't have preference, but it was considered.
You know, cultures are completely different, but that doesn't mean that, you know, family has to be different. I'm glad that people are putting these videos out here, letting people know that it's okay. It's okay to have a son, a daughter who doesn't have the same skin complexion as you. And truth be told, like, you know, kids, they don't care about that stuff. Kids don't care about skin color, what you look like, how tall you are. All they really care about is just, is somebody there for me? Do I have love? You know what I mean? They definitely don't care about, you know, superficial things like this. And so if you're watching this right now, I want you to spread this message. Let people know that it's okay to have a blended family. There's nothing wrong with it. Anybody who's still thinking this way, they gotta change their mentality. Send this video to them, let them know. As always, stay inspired.
So I totally agree with that. It's hard raising kids, period. Unfortunately, this world, I definitely blame the media a lot. They push a lot of race. And I do know raising any son, but especially a black child in this society, they're going to face things. I saw a little video about a mixed girl, and she was confused because kids were telling her that she wasn't black or she wasn't white. And, you know, to even raise a mixed kid, a full black kid, a black kid, period, a minority, like when you're different, I remember my son, and he's fully black, but he wanted his hair to be straight with mousse, and I had to explain that to him. And I think, like, if you are white parents raising kids of a different race, as long as you educate yourself and you're trying your best, because that's all parenting is trying your best. And there will be things that come up. I know Colin Kaepernick, his documentary was a lot about that, because, you know, especially when you're raised in a white household, it could be, you know, you're kind of, your culture, you know, and that's where they'll have to do their homework on that, because he felt a lot, they couldn't understand things he was going through when he was discriminated against, when he couldn't make the quarterback in high school. He felt he was discriminated against. His parents, you know, told him just keep going, and he was trying to tell him, like, you know, they're doing it on purpose. And even him being, there was a scene in that where he was profiled in the elevator where they were like asking if his parents were okay because Colin was black and his parents are white, and his parents really could not understand what he was going through. And I think that is definitely important, that you'll never be able to understand because you're not black, but empathize with them and help them to get through that, and maybe let them speak to some other people that can help them. I mean, it takes a village. I mean, that's just like a single mother raising a son or a father raising a daughter. I mean, it takes a village. Like, you can have positive role models in that child's life to help along with that. It's not impossible, and it shouldn't be. If a child needs a home, they shouldn't be stuck in foster care just because the couple that's adopting them is not the same race. So let's go to the next story here.
To be honest with you, I've been seeing a lot of people online clowning Bronny James for taking a snow bunny to a high school prom. And to be honest with you, I don't think it's fair. He's doing what his pops did. You don't believe me? Oh, this Photoshop? Oh, just following his pop's footsteps. Period. Like, what's the issue with interracial dating? Why do people have such an issue with black people dating white people? I don't understand it. Some of the people that we love and romanticize are a product of interracial couples. They are. Period. Y'all love Kanye and Kim. Y'all call them Kim Ye. Y'all said, oh, they look so great together. They can dress. When these pics came out, look at this. Y'all said this is a beautiful pic. Y'all said it's such a lovely family. This is a product of an interracial couple. Where's the hate coming from? Y'all love Klay Thompson, right? I was watching the game last night. Everybody on my timeline, oh my God, Klay Thompson, he going off. He doing this, he doing that. He hitting shots. He getting blocks. Y'all love Klay Thompson. This is Klay Thompson's mom. We love Klay Thompson. His father was Michael Thompson, black man, mother. What's the issue? People that we love, romanticize, cheer for. Some of them are a product of an interracial couple. What's the issue? Y'all love J. Cole. Every time he drop, he going platinum, double platinum, triple platinum, quadruple platinum. Y'all love J. Cole. He's an activist. He's for black people. This J. Cole's mom. This J. Cole, look at J. Cole. Look at his brother. Night and day. Some people we love, product of interracial couples. Y'all love Barack Obama. Love him. 8 years, no scandals. Love Barack Obama. Beautiful family. This is Barack Obama and his mom. What's the problem? So I take it that y'all see a pattern here. Y'all love Drizzy Drake. Drizzy Drake, king of hip-hop. This is mama. This is Drake as a child. Interracial couple. Black father. White mother. It is okay. So we're just going to be mad at everybody that's interracial dating? Huh? So we still mad? We still mad? Like, we're just going to clown everybody? Okay, just stop me when you get the picture. Just stop me when you understand. So we're just gonna be mad at Paul Wall? We just gonna be mad at everybody? We mad at Paul Wall too? Oh, we still mad? Oh, my bad. Oh, one of the best of all time. Oh, we still mad? Oh, product. Oh, I'm sorry. Still mad? Still?
So he, in those times, was mentioning Patrick Mahomes, Dirk Nowitzki, several people that are products of interracial relationships, and yes, they are celebrated because they are famous, they're quarterbacks, they're basketball players, but the regular person gets a more hate than, I don't understand it, but let's keep going.
Sense. I'm gonna give two stories. First one, it was this black woman. She was married to a white man. and she was telling the story on Clubhouse. She went to the mechanic to get her car fixed. Her car broke down, actually. Her car broke down and she needed help immediately. So she went to the mechanic, close to the mechanic, and he kept ignoring her. No matter what she said, he kept giving her a side eye and whatnot. And she was 6 months pregnant at the time. So she was hormonal and she started crying. And so she ended up calling her white husband. And he drove all the way down there. And the moment he entered the room, the men were very attentive to him. And he ended up, they didn't realize that this is the woman's husband. So, they're having conversation with him. And he says, my wife says that you haven't helped her at all. What's going on? The men were too stunned to speak. They couldn't even make up a lie. They couldn't say anything. Literally were left speechless. And so I'm just saying that to show how the black woman was disrespected no matter what. But being with a white man, you are able to tap into his privilege, his authority, and he's able to do that kind of protection in this kind of society. Because other white men will immediately sit straight up for him. The second story is someone I knew in college, and it was very interesting when she told me this. She's a black woman, and she is now married to this white man. Prior to their marriage, I believe it was when they were engaged, she realized that she was automatically submitting to him. Specifically, she was code switching, and she was suppressing how she usually talks, being upfront, stating her position, and not being stepped over. She's not going to be the second in command type thing. There's going to be equality. But she was telling me this. She was telling me how she was talking to her aunt about it, saying how she didn't know she would continue with the proposal to eventually get married, because she was saying how she felt incomplete. She felt like she was draining, like she wasn't being authentic. And her aunt told her, you need to, paraphrasing, just cut that shit out. And, stop trying to reform yourself, just the fact that you're with a white man. And so she took that to heart, and she ended up breaking out of that type of racial submission thing that she got going on to try and code switch. And after she did that, their relationship improved drastically. She had to find within herself to realize what she was doing because of the racial difference. And there was an internalized fear to be an authentic black woman while with the white man. There was nothing that she told me that he did to make her do this. She just did it automatically. And now they're happily married. So.
Yeah, and dating interracially is hard, especially black and white. I know that there were times where I was like, I can't do it because of the family and just the cultural differences. And if you are with somebody that does not have the same point of views as you, period, in any relationship, and if they're drastic, especially when it comes to race issues, especially in the climate we live in, and your partner is not empathetic to what your culture's people goes through, good luck with that. Because, yeah, I need somebody to accept me for me, just like I would accept the person that I'm with for them. I'm not going to change the way I talk, walk. Like my husband, he loves me because I can obviously be professional, but I can be, me too. Like, I'm not gonna code switch or, water myself down if I'm around his family or whatever. But I know that a lot of people, it's like, especially black people, we have it in our brain almost to be submissive to other races. It's strange, and that's a very interesting topic, and one for me. Like, I know when I dated interracially, a lot of people would say like, oh, I guess I'm not your type. It's like, dude, my sons are black, or, why do you have to go that way? I mean, I've literally had people like follow me, like, in the person I was dating that at that time was a white person, and it was like scary. I was scared for him. And he was like, it's okay. But it's like, no, I could not do it. And it's very hard. And especially if you're with somebody that, like I said, doesn't understand your culture or downplays the things that your people may struggle with, or especially me having black sons. I definitely wanted somebody that could understand things that my sons might face, racial profiling, all that. And so because if my sons are young and I'm with somebody, taking them to the barber shop, like those kind of things, like when you are dating outside of your race, especially if children are involved, those things that come with it. So you definitely have to understand both the cultures. It's not easy. Dating's not easy, period. But then you add, and if you really love the person for who you're with, you won't even see that skin color no more. But the world will constantly. A lot of people always ask me, like, what do you have in like you and your husband? Like my husband, I don't see Mexican. I just see my husband. Like same with him. He doesn't see black. He just sees his wife. Like, I never understand that question when people say, like, oh, is that true? No, we have a lot of stuff in common. Music, movies, we're both silly, like we both like outdoors, like we're best friends, like, and I've been that way my whole life. Like, I'm a character person. I'm not a color person, because listen, it would be a boring world if it was just one race and one culture of people. It would be absolutely boring. And I think for me, because I went to the military, I learned to be around all kind of people. I was around people that had never even seen a black person before, like, except for on TV. And I became good friends with them. And it's good to teach each other about each other's cultures. I know some of my coworkers, they are very receptive to the things. They don't even know the things we have to go through with our hair or with our skin. And they want to learn that, and they learn so much, and we learn from each other, because that is how the world evolves, because we are in a blended world, especially in today, where like most kids that are being born are mixed race kids. So it's like the fact that people still have these views is just crazy to me. But let's keep going.
You'll get a lot of hate for if you say it out loud.
When it comes to interracial relationships, from a spectator's perspective, normally when it's a black woman and a white man, the white men are more respectful than the white women. Or when it's two minority couples and a black person, the other minority person is more respectful than white women. And now, I'm not gonna lie, there are some white beauties who absolutely mind their business and pay their respect and respect the culture. This is not directed towards you. You already know. This is for the Birkin energy. When I say Birkin, I mean trolls versus Birkins. Women who feel like they have to compete and compare when it comes to black women and get uncomfortable when the presence of black women is present. We may not call it out, but we feel the energy, and we're seeing it more and more on TikTok being confirmed. And I say the crazy thing about that is some white women will complain about how white men are such horrible creatures on this earth and will be worse than them in energy. Like, love, you can love who you love without hating other people, and you having to deny the existence of other women just so you shine.
Very true. I know that. Some people, it is true. Some people have fetishes. Some people could be dating outside of their race just to scratch an itch, just to say, I tried that. And look at what I had. Look at what I did. It's a notch in their belt. That is very true. So you do have to be careful. And there's people that look at me, don't look at me. And it's like I'm trotting around a horse. And yeah, it's dumb. So yeah, let's keep going.
Now, I would never say to a black woman with a white man, stop taking our men, or whatever it is you want to say. I don't own someone because of my race. You don't own somebody because of your race. That would just be racist to assume these things.
Take all of the men. Like, I have no problem, but I know that people get these comments. Yes, definitely. Let's keep going.
An interracial relationship is funny because people always assume that he's paying for things. I remember one time I was going to shoot a video and somebody just said, oh, I love him. He comes, pays for everything, and then he just leaves. I was like, I'm paying for this. He's here for moral support. Wow, look at this. This is the year paint from Violette. I'll put everything in the caption. You know that famous Jessica Rabbit line where she's like, I'm not bad, I'm just drawn that way. I feel like that a lot. For example, there were a lot of situations I remember being in where people would always assume, like, I'm the gold digger, I'm the groupie. I actually used to be like that, and the reason for me was just insecurity. It made me feel more comfortable to feel like, oh, I know what's going on. I guess on that front, I could have a little understanding, a little empathy. I did grow up in a way that kind of pushed me to have someone take care of me. And to be honest, when I first started dating, I was on that track. I evolved, I grew.
Anyway, let's go to the next video.
No man.
Let's talk about the freedom and autonomy that you all take from black women when you say that a white partner is colonizing us. You're subscribing to a misogynistic mindset that the most valuable resource that a black woman has to the black community is her womb. The word divesting particularly bothers me because it's saying that a black woman's refusal to reproduce with a black man is depriving him of something he is owed. Furthermore, it infantilizes the black woman, assuming that she cannot make decisions without the presence of a black man. The white man she believes that she is in love with is merely holding her captive. It is becoming increasingly apparent that a lot of black men only desire black women as a means to the political agenda of pro-blackness. They project this idea onto all couples, assuming that the white man can only see a black woman as a fetish, considering he has nothing to gain politically, and the black woman must be trying to gain something politically from the white man. Because dating for love is just unfathomable, huh?
Right? Mic drop on that. Listen, this is my advice. If you date outside of your race, more power to you. You need to be in a strong relationship, period. I don't know still why so much emphasis is put on race, because you could be with the same race and have more problems in an interracial couple. But the biggest thing is the same rules, really, but you need somebody to have your back. Like, my husband, he would never let nobody disrespect me. Like, say, like, if it's something, like, because people make jokes, I'll tell my husband, like, I don't like that joke, because some people feel like they can joke with you, and it's like, no, you don't know me like that, So my husband is very protective of me, and I feel like if you were in a relationship interracially and something offends your partner, vice versa, like if that your partner's like, I don't like that, like, don't hear them out. That's what I mean. You have to empathize, because they might not have thought of anything of that, and so those need to be addressed. Like, those are, to me, and just, you shouldn't let your family and your relationship problems, period, but you also shouldn't let your family dictate who you date. I know when I was growing up, we were told not to date outside of our race. Our brothers could, but we cannot. Like, we were told all the time, don't bring home another race. So, me being a rebel, of course, I did what I wanted. But the moral of the story is, like, don't let your family dictate your happiness. You be you, and judge a person by their character. You might be missing out on some either good friendship, true love. I mean, you could be missing out by just being close-minded. And I think anytime you don't take time to get to know someone, and you might like that person, you might love that person. Like I said, one of my best friends in the military was white, and she had never even been around black people. She lived in a town where they said, bring your own rope on a sign in Texas. Blum, Texas, by the way. But guys, don't be so close-minded. It's just skin at the end of the day. It's really ridiculous that we're still discussing this. Love is love, everybody. Peace.